Hello, you're watching the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Cho Nguyễn and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held talks with China's Premier Li Qiang. DIOXIN treatment technology designed at Biên Hòa AIRBASE area evaluated. Republic of Korea supports Vietnam in Typhoon YAGI'S consequence mitigation. On October the 13th in Hanoi, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held talks with Chinese Premier Li Qiang. After the ceremonial welcome, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính held talks with Chinese Premier Li Qiang. For future cooperation, the two sides agreed to effectively implement the common perceptions reached by the two countries' senior leaders, continue consolidating political trust, and regularly maintaining meetings at all levels, promote cooperation mechanisms, especially in the fields of diplomacy, national defense, and security, foster cooperation in key areas, and enhance people-to-people exchanges to solidify social foundation for the development of the Vietnam-China relations. The two sides agreed on official operation of the landscape site of Reup of Vietnam and Deqiang, China waterfalls from October the 15th, 2025. Prime Minister Qin called on the two sides to respect each other's legitimate rights and interests, settle disputes and differences through peaceful means in line with international law. Following the talks, Prime Minister Qin and Premier Li witnessed the signing of 10 cooperation deals between the two countries in the fields of transport, connectivity, customs, education, trade in agricultural products, journalism, and banking. The same day, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn also held talks with Chinese Premier Li Qiang. Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn warmly welcomed and spoke highly of Li's first official visit to Vietnam in his capacity as the premier, which is also the first Vietnam visit by a Chinese premier over the past 11 years. Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn affirmed Vietnam remains unwavering in its commitment to strengthening and developing its cooperative and friendship relationship with China. Regarding parliamentary cooperation, the Vietnamese National Assembly and the National People's Congress of China should continue upholding their legislative and supervisory roles in promoting the bilateral relations, increasing the sharing of experiences in institutional improvement and building of a socialist law-governed state under the party's leadership. The Premier put forward 3 key proposals to enhance bilateral exchanges in cooperation in the time ahead. In December 1944, President Hồ Chí Minh, on behalf of the party's Central Committee, assigned the task to Võ Nguyên Giáp to quickly organize an armed force. As an outstanding and close student of President Hồ Chí Minh, Võ Nguyên Giáp advised the party's Central Committee on the development of armed forces and directly educated, trained, and built the Vietnam People's Army from its establishment to the process of fighting, developing, and maturing. Therefore, General Võ Nguyên Giáp was admired by the entire military and honored as the eldest brother of the Vietnam People's Army. 11 years since General Võ Nguyên Giáp passed away, but each soldier still cherishes and is proud when remembering that eldest brother. Not only was he a genius military general with great feats of arms, a person who made important contribution to the development of military theory of the Vietnam People's Warfare, General Võ Nguyên Giáp was also a general who always promoted humanity, felt pain with every wound, regretted every drop of blood of the soldier, and considered victory must go hand in hand with minimal casualties of officers and soldiers. 80 years ago, on December 22, 1944, in Trần Hưng Đạo Forest, the Vietnam Propaganda Unit of the Liberation Army, the predecessor of the Vietnam People's Army, was established with 34 officers and soldiers directly led by Võ Nguyên Giáp. As the commander of the Revolutionary Armed Forces, he continued to lead and direct the armed forces to carry out the 1945 August General Uprising successfully. Since then, the name of General Võ Nguyên Giáp has been associated with great battles, making the resounding history of the country and people of Vietnam in the 20th century. The eldest brother is the affectionate and respectful name that our military officers and soldiers honor General Võ Nguyên Giáp, with the implication that he is the leader, a prestigious person with quality and ability to represent the party and alcohol to command the building and training of our military. The great victory of the two resistance war against the French colonialism and American imperialism affirmed that General Võ Nguyên Giáp was an outstanding military man. He was not only good at commanding troops, but also talented at organizing and building the military. General Giáp was the one who proposed the policies in building a revolutionary, regular, elite, and gradually modernized the People's Army very early. The title eldest brother will forever be engraved in the hearts of every officer and soldier, as the general's contributions and legacy on military science and art that General Võ Nguyên Giáp left behind will always last forever. Recently, the Ministry of National Defense Appraisal Council has assessed the dioxin treatment technology design of the first phase dioxin treatment project at Biên Hòa Airport, Đồng Nai Province. In this phase, the contractor is responsible for designing and constructing a dioxin-contaminated soil treatment facility using thermal conduction technology and a waste management system meeting regulations on health and environmental protection. The goal set for this design is to reduce the dioxin concentration in the soil and sediment at Biên Hòa Airport below the allowable limit for dioxin of Vietnamese standards. The dioxin treatment project at Biên Hòa Airport is chaired by the Air Defense Air Force Service and funded by the United States Agency for International Development. Health care and treatment for officers and soldiers, people and fishermen living on Trường Sa or Spratly Archipelago, Khánh Hòa Province, and DK1 platforms on the southern continental shelf of the fatherland has always received special attention from the Party, State Central Military Commission, Ministry of National Defense, and Ministry of Health. Over the past 5 years, clinics on Trường Sa Archipelago have provided medical treatment for some 37,000 patients. With the high sense of responsibility, military doctors have truly become a firm mainstay for the military and people at sea and islands. Sea and island medical emergency was much improved when, in 2020, the Ministry of National Defense amended Circular 127, which assigned Military Hospital 175 to directly treat serious cases on Trường Sa Archipelago, shortening the emergency process and seizing the golden time to save patients on the brink of life and death. Traumatic brain injury patient Mai Anh Tuấn was one of the 3 critically ill patients simultaneously transported to the mainland for emergency treatment by a helicopter from Army Corps 18 and a medical team from Military Hospital 175. When I was in pain, the doctors assured me that they would use helicopters to transfer me to the mainland and have me treated there. I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me. Not only witnessing the revival of many lives, this island also witnesses the birth of many precious lives. 12 years ago, Nguyễn Ngọc Trường Xuân was born here. That moment became even more sacred as it was the first C-section on Trường Sa Archipelago. Up to now, many babies named Trường Sa, Hòa Bình or Peace or Hạnh Phúc, Happiness have been born on this special place in the hands of military doctors. Being military doctors, we always keep in mind the duty of staying as a strong mainstay for officers, soldiers, and fishermen to focus on their task at sea. The farewell ceremony for the medical team leaving for work in Trường Sa Archipelago is always very emotional. The military doctors are willing to put aside their happiness for the peace and joy of the people. Coming up next, Republic of Korea support Vietnam in Typhoon Yagi's consequence mitigation. Cổ Loa, historical and cultural imprints. The government of the Republic of Korea committed $1 million to the United Nations Development Program to support recovery efforts of Vietnam under the Inclusive Early Recovery and Reconstruction Program after Typhoon Yagi. Considered the most destructive storm to hit Vietnam in 3 decades, Typhoon Yagi has affected 3.6 million people. With nearly 400,000 homes damaged or submerged and infrastructure in ruins, the storm has left the country facing a recovery effort estimated at more than $3.3 billion. In alignment with the joint UN response, UNDP's program will address immediate needs and foster long-term resilience in communities hardest hit by the disaster, particularly in Lào Cai, Yên Bái, Hải Phòng, and Quảng Ninh provinces, empower affected communities and strengthen their resilience to future disasters by rebuilding flood and storm-resilient homes and small-scale community infrastructure, and providing short-term employment opportunities through cash-for-work schemes. Overseas remittances to Ho Chi Minh City surpassed $5.5 billion in the first 9 months of 2024, a 10% rise from last year, excluding transfers through credit institutions. Ho Chi Minh City is now recording the largest amount of remittances, accounting for more than half of the country. Last year, remittances were 2.7 times higher than total foreign direct investment and made up about 14% of the city's gross regional domestic product. The State Bank of Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City branch emphasized the importance of adopting foreign exchange policies, attracting remittances, improving the investment environment, and enhancing the quality of remittance payment services, while resources must be used effectively to develop production, business, and trade services through financial tools like local government bonds, investment funds, or securitization. This approach aligns with the goal of developing a green economy, a digital economy, high-quality education and healthcare, technology application, tourism service, and other activities that concern overseas Vietnamese investors. After a decline in exports in 2023, Vietnam's frozen tuna exports have continuously increased in the first 9 months of 2024, reaching more than $51 million, up 19% of the same period last year. According to statistics from Vietnam General Department of Customs, frozen tuna products of Vietnam have been exported to over 70 markets worldwide, of which the US, EU, Russia, Canada, and Israel are the 5 largest importers for these products. Compared to the same period of 2023, Vietnam's frozen tuna export to these 5 markets are on the rise. As one of the precious historical relics of the capital and the nation, Co Loa has been the capital of Vietnam multiple times. Archaeological studies over the years have confirmed that Co Loa is a rare site, witnessing the development of the Red River civilization.
Students from Co Loa Middle School recently joined a field trip to the Co Loa Relic Display House, learning about Co Loa Citadel's 3 functions: capital, military fortress, and market, and about the famous magical crossbow by the army of Âu Lạc. After learning about Co Loa, I realized it was a fortified city with 3 concentric earthen walls, creating a strong military base combining infantry and naval forces. The magical crossbow was especially significant, providing solid defense for the Âu Lạc kingdom. More than 2,000 years ago, Co Loa were chosen by heroic leaders who defeated tens of thousands of Quyền invaders as a foundation for the Âu Lạc state, driving the Đông Sơn culture and Rise civilization to its peak. The exhibition, Co Loa Historical and Cultural Imprints, with over 100 documents and images, offers visitors insights into Co Loa as a cultural heritage site, reflecting the creativity, technical skill, and resilience of ancient Vietnamese in defending their homeland.
Có một điều hết sức đặc biệt.
What makes Co Loa truly special is that it functioned not only as a capital and military citadel, but also as a bustling marketplace, a combination rarely seen in other capitals that makes Co Loa unique indeed. The 3 concentric walls, built solely of earth, have stood for over 2,000 years. This reflects how meticulously King An Dương Vương, General Cao Lỗ, and people of Âu Lạc studied the Co Loa landscape to create a city citadel that has endured through time. Especially remarkable are the inner ones firing mounds, a military technique where the Golwa army could shoot crossbows from atop the walls with great efficiency. The exhibition has spread the tangible and intangible cultural values of Golwa, raising awareness among the local community and visitors of the importance of preserving this heritage site, contributing to the local socio-economic development.
And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch news again at QPVN.vn. Now, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.